All right, so I know by now you know about the arrest of Donald Trump, President Trump, that is, in Fulton County, Atlanta yesterday. And you may have seen this clip behind me. I can't stop watching it. I'm going to react to it. I've seen it a bunch of times, but I'm going to react to it as best I can in real time and talk about some things that this gentleman talks about in this particular clip. Never mind the word on his shirt. Never mind any of that in terms of the sensationalism of this particular video clip, which is pretty awesome, by the way. But I want you to read between the lines on certain things and see what he says. And I'm going to break it out for you and also come back afterward and talk to you a little bit about how the black community is still emboldened to the Democrats. But the fact that President Trump is in the situation he is now in Fulton County, people are beginning to see what's going on and they're beginning to identify him with their plight. Lining up by the hundreds in Fulton County. This is black people, by the way, in Democrat stronghold Fulton County to support President Trump. So we're going to watch this video real quickly. I'm going to react to it and let's check it out.
I'm here to support President Trump. You want to know why I'm here to support President Trump? Because they done did black men like this for decades. Make up charges and put them, so I know Trump is innocent.
So here's the thing. So we've had several videos on this particular channel, mostly shorts, that deal with Trump and how he, from the very beginning, going back to the 80s, identified with the black community, in particular, the hip hop community. It's just what it was. Hundreds of songs have been referenced to Donald Trump before he became president, and then into him becoming the apprentice. He became the benchmark of success in life, particularly when it comes to money, and black people identify with him very, very strongly. And so now all of a sudden he goes a certain way, comes down an escalator, identifies as a certain political party, and guess what? He is no longer a person that we need to listen to anymore. And that is something that people didn't really notice until just, I guess, the last couple of years. And the narrative has always been, look, Democrats are the supporters and the benefactors of black people, and therefore black people need to vote Democrat. They should not ever vote Republican because Republicans are racist and they don't have their best interest in heart. But if you look at what President Trump has done, the 4 years he was in office, he has done more for the black community than any president, I would say, going back to Abraham Lincoln. If you look at programs like the First Step Act, where he was helping people who were incarcerated get off on easier sentences or having those sentences be commuted altogether. Situations like the payment going to HBCUs at the highest level, even higher than what Obama had, even revitalization zones and other areas that he was doing to incentivize the black community in terms of black businesses. And also don't forget the Ice Cube initiative, where they were looking at helping black community up to $500 billion. It was proposed, but Trump's last term was to, hey, work with Ice Cube and his community with this deal with the black community to actually benefit in the second term at the highest level ever done since Reconstruction. And so this is something that's been true, particularly in Fulton County. Our understanding now under Biden economics that their life is way worse than it was under President Trump.
I support Trump against this corrupt two-tier justice system.
Corrupt two-tier justice system. We talk about that all the time. You know what? I mean, there's just an article that came out now where the DA actually did the same thing that Trump did back in 2020, but that's not a big deal. Biden, Hillary, Obama, many people have talked about their disdain for the outcome of an election, and that was never a problem. This whole thing, as we know, is just a total red herring, and it's just making people upset, and it's identifying him with the black community even more, because like he said, to him, this guy, he's known people who have been trumped up on charges in the black community for decades.
That's why I'm here to show my support as a black man for Trump, and I'm wearing my shirt for Trump 2024, and I mean that.
What do you think about the indictments?
Oh, it's a bunch of bull. It's going around the country, you know.
This girl right here to the left of him, to the right of him, but to the left of this screen is cracking up.
Fannie Willis, she's a bunch of bull. It's going around the country, you know. Fannie Willis, she went to school with my sister. She full of shit then. So she's a puppet for the white.
So before I get there, he's actually identified the DA, this Fannie Willis, whatever her name is, and said that he knew her through his sister and that he's implying that she is corrupt in and of herself. So he's already undermining her authority and her credibility. And like I said before, the article just came out, I have it on the screen right here, about what she did in the past, and yet she won't do anything about herself committing any crimes either. It's just about President Trump.
She went to school with my sister. She full of was full of shit then. So she's a puppet for the white liberal that is controlling everything. She's in front, but the white liberal back there pulling those strings, telling her what to do.
That's the same thing that Malcolm X said, essentially, that you have people up front who are the white liberal, and Malcolm X warned us on white liberals.
The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game.
And that they're the ones up front, or actually, I say they're ones in the back, pulling the strings for the black people in front who are the black liberals. The white liberals are worse, the black liberals are the second worst, and we see that in the civil rights movement. I ask you to go watch Uncle Tom 2, because you'll see in that exactly what's happening. BLM and all those movements were Marxist movements led by white communists putting forth their agenda, but using black faces in front to push forth their narrative, because no one would have accepted it otherwise. Now, I'm not a big fan of MLK, especially if you watch that movie, but his arrests, as I have on the screen right here, are the same in terms of them being unjust. This particular one was in Fulton County, also unjust, and it's just ironic how you have that same thing happening here with President Trump.
That's what I think about her, making a fool of herself.
Do you think it's going to help his election?
Of course it is. It's going to elevate him all the way. I think we should make Trump king. That's how I feel. We should make him king.
Wouldn't that be like kind of like communistic?
Nah, that's nowhere near communist. Now, we just going to make him king, but we still got our freedoms and rights and everything. He for that.
Now, he doesn't understand the Constitution, that we don't do kings here in America. He's just showing his respect, and he's doing it in a way that he's showing utmost respect, street cred respect, but at the same time, he's saying, no, I'm not for that communist stuff that she was implying there. It's just that Trump understands our rights, and that's why we can make him a king, because of those very reasons. They wanted to make George Washington a king too, so the terminology is just what he used. I don't particularly care for that terminology because there's only one king in my book.
Trump for king 2024.
That's actually my URL. I own that URL.
You own that URL?
Can I get your name?
Really? Oh, my name is for Trump 2024.
I can't write that.
Did you hear that? She said, I can't print that. That last thing at the end was just pretty much hilarious. And like I said, you know, just the fact that he would go there with that shirt is going all over the place, this particular clip. And I just absolutely love it because it's changing the narrative. And speaking about narratives, take a look at this tweet right here. Imagine indicting Donald Trump 3 times, hyping the 4th indictment up to be the best one yet, finally getting to be able to get a mugshot of the former president, releasing the mugshot, and then Trump throws the mugshot in a fundraising email, comes back to X, which is Twitter, and steals the whole show from you. Legendary energy stuff. It's a marketing masterpiece, what he does the best. He's turning this whole thing around, making himself into a complete hero among many people. People see this for what it is, and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, even though they don't like this, people are finding out because of these platforms. And so, what are your thoughts on this? Comment below. I will do more on this in the future because this is anti-woke channel, but at the same time, what they're doing here is absolute injustice, and wokeism is just another name for communism.